Point of order, Grant Roberts.
Mr Speaker, I apologise to my colleague to interrupt me in the middle of the speech. That is the second time that you have asked him to narrow his contribution down to the bill. It is a well-understood convention in this House when a piece of legislation is dumped on the table by the government with no notice, that there is some latitude, certainly in the early readings of the bill. The member is speaking about climate change as an important issue.
I thank the member for his comments. To talk about the Solomon Islands and Kiribati with water levels rising is a far stretch from talking about the ETS and this. And I did give the member some warning earlier on. I'll ask him to come back to the bill. Chris Hipkins, point of order.
Mr Speaker, this is a bill that deals with climate change. The emissions trading scheme is the government's response to climate change.
Thank you. Member will sit. Exactly. And this is about the ETS and not what's in the bill. And it's all very well, and I allowed the member to talk about the other islands, because I understand those issues just as he does, but I've asked him to come back, and now I'm asking him to come back to what's in the bill. Sir William Sir.
Mr Speaker, I'll continue to raise that particular point because this is important, and it does refer to what this government is doing based on this legislation. It is not enough. That's the whole point. And if we don't take seriously climate change, what is happening in the Pacific will also affect this country of ours. And so far, this is baby stuff. This is small stuff. This issue will affect New Zealand in a significant way. And I'm glad that the Minister has taken this step. But I ask the Minister now to look broader than what she's doing here and take on consideration that we need more than just what she's put in this piece of legislation. But here's the point, sir. We've waited with a bated breath all of this time for this particular budget, thinking, and we're all thinking, that they were going to take seriously some of the crises that this country is facing. Climate change is certainly a future crisis, but it's coming. And if we don't look at, but it's coming, sir, and it is here. If you listen to the reports of the Environmental Commissioner, our coastal regions are being affected, and local councils are trying to figure out how do they pay for the roading restructuring that we need to deal with. This government doesn't seem to really care about what will happen because they think that they'll pass those costs on to somebody else. So again, sir, here's the thing. Giving business the right to pollute but only pay half costs was wrong at the outset when this government introduced it in 2009. They are wrong now to only focus on this when it needs to be much broader they need to take a broader approach in addressing this problem. But I tell you, sir, the Pacific is relevant to what this country does, because if those islands are underwater, I would ask those ministers there and that government there, show me where the tent city should be, where they're going to house 110,000 Kiribati. Show me where they want to put up the tent city for where they need to house 10,000 Tuvaluans, because if we approach climate change from these baby steps, we're never going to get anywhere, and we're not going to address the issue, and it will continue to harm not only our physical infrastructure, but it will also harm our reputation.